Hi everyone. So today I wanted to share with you something that I think is so important, especially in high school and college, just in general. If you're ever required to take a foreign language and you have the choice to take the language you want to take, go for it. Now, maybe you're like me and you've heard, oh, Zoe, but let's say Spanish, for example, is so much more useful than French, or Polish is something that's like you're gonna hear a lot more in this context, and if you want to go anywhere, then you really actually should be learning Mandarin. So I understand that there is validity. That Spanish is a very useful language to pick up. French can help with like different types of interacting with different parts of the world. Mandarin, it's important. These are all important and useful languages to learn. And I'm not saying one language is superior to the other, because all of them are really awesome. What I am saying is that consider the one that you actually want to learn, because there will be uses for it. So I will use my story as an example. I walked into high school hearing,
You're never gonna need to know French. There's no point in taking it.
and I allowed that perspective to stop me from at least trying. So I took the route of Spanish, and I appreciate Spanish. I've sung in it before. It's a beautiful language. It's something that I enjoy, but those first couple months, I was not paying attention as much as I should. I wasn't really getting the most out of it. I was using Google Translate more than actually trying because the back of my brain was saying,
This is nice, and now I'm going to understand my friends a little better because I have a lot of Latino friends. But, this isn't what I really wanted to do.
and that attitude followed me all the time I had to take Spanish. And it was like I had fun on occasion. I had a lot more fun down the road when I kind of just sort of ignored that attitude and just tried to appreciate the language for what it is, because it is a beautiful language. But it never went away. And so, right off the bat, if you choose the language, if you have the opportunity to learn a language you want to learn, you might find just going for it, regardless of whether the people say, will make you so much more happy than saying,
Well, my friends are all telling me that I'm not even going to practice French, so what's the point?
now here's another thing. Because I took Spanish, it actually was easier to pick up on French. And I am now taking French as a college student. 4 years later, I have finally decided, you know what, I want to be serious about this. I just want to give it a shot. Various reasons behind that story. In any case, I'm taking it. And yeah, my French-speaking friends are now making fun of me for when I don't get everything correct, but I'm just happy that I'm doing this in the first place. And because I took Spanish in high school, I can translate French a little bit better. That doesn't mean they're identical languages, but because they're Romance languages, Italian, French, and Spanish all relate to each other because they're based off of Latin and other things. But basically, because of that, I was able to get a bit more of a head start than someone who's never even learned a language. So, if you, let's say you wanted to learn Italian, but nobody speaks Italian in your town, or everyone's like, there's no reason, we offer it as a class, but Spanish is more valuable. If you learned Italian and really delved into it and found what you really love and just like grew your passion, then you would probably have a fair shot at translating Spanish, and you probably have a very decent spot of being able to say,
Well, this means that, and oh wait, that means the same thing in Spanish. It's just 2 words are off, or 2 letters are off, or whatever it is.
so to sum this one up, learning a language trains your mind to be more adept at picking up other languages, especially those that relate. And then finally, Learning another language in general is very useful, regardless of that language. I once picked up Korean due to martial arts. Not a lot of Korean, but enough that when I've come across someone, I'm rusty. I'm very rusty, and I'd have to relearn a lot of it. But when I would come across someone, I would be able to have like basic conversations, and it was like we actually had a connection. Nobody has ever told me to go learn Korean. It's a beautiful language, and I learned it for martial arts, and I'm very happy that I did it. Same thing goes for French. Same thing goes for Spanish. These are all languages in general are beautiful. And when you learn one, when it comes to those job applications where they're like, we need people who are bilingual, we need people who actually know something other than just English, then you get to say,
oh wait, I know Mandarin. Oh wait, I know French.
And then all of a sudden, you went from being here on the application list to getting the job. I'm not kidding. And now, in my case, if there's usually a bilingual request, it's usually for Spanish and English. But make no mistake, other languages are spoken. There are more than just one or two languages that are in this world that people need to learn. I mean, if a fair amount of people know Klingon and converse in Klingon, which is Star Trek, that shows that the world is willing to listen to more than just English. So, if you like this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up. I enjoy talking about language adventures because I love languages in general, whether that's actually like the language of Spanish, or the language of music, or the language of math. I mean, everything has a language, which is kind of one of the reasons why it's so awesome when you can pick up an official one. Because then you get the idea and the structure and the basic setup for everything. So give a thumbs up if you like this. If you are like, ooh, what about this language? Or what about that language? You feel free to ask. I have come across a lot of situations where learning a language or knowing a language, a specific language, not just any language, would have been very useful. And I have many stories of moments where some random person was using Russian around my friend. Her nephew knew Russian, translated it for her, taught her some Russian on the down low, and so she responded to that person, and it like that's just one example of the many times languages come into life, and what you may think seems unimportant or what seems irrelevant because it's not used all the time, it's not the case. So, give a thumbs up, as I've probably said 3 times now. Feel free to check out the other videos. I hope you have a great day and stay awesome.